Come on. Let us sing.
Read the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
And we all know the words, the lyrics to this classic. And probably we know the story as well. John Newton, who used to be a Royal Navy sailor, then turned captain of slave trade ships, faced a sense of urgency, a moment of distress. A hurricane threatened his life and the lives of his sailors and his cargo. And what did he do? He turned to the Lord, asked for forgiveness, and later on in that moment of conversion, dedicated his entire life, became an Anglican clergyman, wrote the song, and also lobbied and did everything he could to abolish slave trade in England and live to see that happen in 1807. A warrior, a prayer warrior. Bartimaeus also faced a sense of urgency, great stress. He was blind, but listened that in his proximity, Jesus was coming, and he knew of Jesus as a miraculous healer. And he started asking, praying incessantly, even though the crowd, just like us, sometimes we try to silence the poor, the dispossessed, the needy. He never quit in calling on Jesus, and Jesus listened to him. Not only listened to him, but said, "What do you want?" and gave the man his sight. And the end of the story, in the same way that John Newton did, was upon receiving a great favor, had a conversion, and started following Christ. 3 weeks ago, Father Leon, his first homily here, mentioned to us that we're family and that we have to pray as family. We have to gather as family. 2 weeks ago, following on that and building on that, Father Matthew, our own pastor, called us to practice 4 words, right? You remember that? Can you tell me one of the 4 words? What is that? Care. Another one is share. Another one is fair. And what's the last one? Prayer. Prayer. To pray as family. And then Father Brandon last week talked to us about suffering. And he had an opportunity to repeat that homily when one of us, one of our own children, passed away on Thursday, very early morning. And a group of his classmates asked him, "Can we get together? We need to make sense of this terrible tragedy." And he did. He met with them, he prayed with them, and also consoled them, comforted them. At the end of the night, it was about 2.5 hours, the children came to a sense of closure, of knowing that life will end, and sooner than later, in that case, happened to Justin Acoba, one of ours. Justin, in the same way that Bartimaeus, in the same way that John Newton also had his moment with the Lord. Justin faced his illness, long, prolonged, debilitating, painful as it was, never deterred him from serving the Lord. Justin Acoba was one of our altar servers, and even though he was in pain, he showed up. He wanted to pray with and for us, and he is now in heaven praying for us. Bartimeus, Newton, Justin Acoba, prayer warriors. In 2 weeks, we will have a completion of this renovation project that has occupied the whole summer and now part of fall. The pews are coming. The pews are coming. They tell us that the center pews will be done next week. So by next week, no more. You will be also paying your pew tax. And then the week after, the wings. All right? So by the 6th, we will have here a completed project. And Father Matt called us a couple of weeks back at the end of his homily, and he said it would be fitting that we have a day of thanksgiving. And he called for us to gather on November the 6th. That's Friday. Write it on your calendars. From 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. for us to have an opportunity as community, as family, to be on our knees and pray before the Blessed Sacrament and give thanks to God for this incredible building where we can gather to praise, to reverence, to worship. So, on November 6th, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., let us sing songs. Let us do praise and worship. Let us do the rosary. Let us be in silence and ask. Remember, ask, you shall receive. Knock, it will be open. Seek, and you will find. So, be concrete, be specific, come ready with your project, and I'm sure that the faithful will receive the favor. May God embrace you. May God bless you. May He continue to hug you, to caress you. You are His beloved.